Cognition is how a brain processes and reacts to information. Information processing model has four parts. Thinking requires storage of stimuli. Stimuli must be analyzed by the brain, and decisions must be extrapolated and used to solve new problems. Problem solving depends on cognitive level, context, and complexity. Piaget's stages of cognitive development. So he divided a lifespan into four cognitive stages: sensory motor, pre-operational, concrete, and formal. Assimilation is the process of classifying new information in existing schemata, and schemata can be just anything, categories, whatnot. Combination is process by which existing schemata is modified to encompass information. Piaget stages are SPCF. Sensory motor is birth to 2 years, and it's really manipulating environment. The end of sensory motor is when you find object permanence, so peekaboo doesn't mean anymore. Pre-operational is symbolic, egocentric, and centration. Symbolic thinking, egocentric, and centration. So inability to understand conservation is one of the things in pre-operational. So for example, you have the same volume of water, but one is in a tall glass, one's a fat glass. The kid will say the tall glass has more. Concrete is understanding others' perspectives, but they can't think abstractly. Formal is thinking abstractly and problem solving. Vygotsky was an educational psychologist who theorized culture affects the stages of development. Fluid intelligence is problem solving skills, and crystallized intelligence is the use of skills and knowledge. Delirium is fluctuation in cognition due to medical physiological reasons. Um, Problem solving and decision making. Mental set is a tendency to approach problems in the same way, and functional fitness is inability to understand how an object can be used in a non-traditional manner. One of the biggest things is a candle. So, for example, if you have a box, you can actually nail the box and use that as a candle holder. Problem solving. Trial and error is finding solution until one works. Algorithm is following a formula or procedure to solve a problem. Deductive reasoning is top down instead of general rules that draw conclusions, whereas inductive reasoning is bottom up, and it seeks to create theory via generalizations. Heuristics is simplified principles to make decisions. And the two different types of biases in research are disconfirmation and confirmation. Disconfirmation bias is evidence obtained from testing demonstrated that solution does not work. Sometimes this thing that does not work is not ruled out because of confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is focusing on information that fits an individual's belief while rejecting opposing results. Howard Gardner theory of multiple intelligence means that there's different types of intelligence. Intelligence depends on parental expectations, socioeconomic status, and nutrition. Sleep cycle. So the waves are BAT D. Beta is when you're awake. Alpha is awake but relaxing to the close. Stage 1 is theta waves. Stage 2 is sleep spindles and K complexes. Stage 3 is delta waves, and then REM is when muscles are paralyzed. Dysomnia is hard to sleep and stay asleep. Insomnia is when you can't go to sleep. Parasomnia is abnormal movements and behaviors during sleep. For example, you have sleep paralysis and sleepwalking. Cataplexy is loss of muscle control induced REM sleep during waking hours, such as narcolepsy. Apnea is inability to breathe during sleep. Drugs that act on the nervous system. You have depressants, which will depress. So two types of depressants are alcohol and barbiturates. Depressant means they lower brain activity. Alcohol increases GABA and increases dopamine. Barbiturates increases GABA, less prone to overdose, but it's highly addictive. Stimulants. So this is going to stimulate the body. Amphetamines increases arousal, increases dopamine, norepinephrine, serotonin. It has a decreased appetite and a need for sleep. Cocaine is decreased reuptake of amphetamine neurotransmitters. It's used as an anesthetic. Ecstasy is increased heart rate, BP, vision, sweating, and nausea. Opiates and opioids. Opiates are naturally occurring forms, and opioids are synthetic derivatives. The way to remember is droids are synthetic robots. Drug addiction is drugs attack the mesolimbic reward pathway, meaning the nuclear limbics, ventro, VTA, medial forebrain bundle. Attention is selective. There's two types of attention, selective and divided. Selective is focusing on one stimuli while ignoring others, and divided is being able to perform multiple tasks at the same time. Language. You have phonology, morphology, semantics, syntax, and pragmatics. Pragmatics is use of language depending on the context. Semantics is association of meaning with a word. Brain areas and languages. Broca is the motor function of speech, and Wernicke's is the language comprehension. The way I like to remember is Broca's you got to roll your tongue, so it's the motor function of speech, the motor movement of the tongue. Whereas Wernicke's, it just sounds weird, so you have to comprehend the language. Aphasia is deficit of language production or comprehension, and conduction aphasia is when you have the arcuate fasciculus, which connects the Broca's and the Wernicke's. If there's anything wrong with the conduction aphasia, yeah, so if there's anything wrong with the arcuate fasciculus, the patient is unable to repeat something that's been said because the connection between Broca's and Wernicke's is broken.